And we're off. Good evening, Mega Man lovers. I'm Kyle Precise, and I have the honor of commentating this first race of the evening. Two racers who have already gotten their feet wet in this tournament. One racer who is determined to basically swim to the bottom of the ocean today, getting all four of his races in. We have God Mega Man 2 gamer, ZodaNOR, and a newer runner to the Mega Man series, MegaManx381. Both of them are starting with the same route, so we can dispense with all the talk about the virtues and risks of the different routes, both going for what is generally regarded as the safest race route, lowest risk. You can lose a few seconds due to bad Magnet Man RNG. He can jump, he can play hard to get instead of giving you big hugs, but generally very consistent route, nothing scary like top first, and if you do get good RNG, a little faster than Gemini first. So we will be able, unless one of them has some strange routing up his sleeve, we will be able to see who's where all the way through the 8 robots. And then of course after that we get the hardest part of the game, the Dock Robot stages, and we don't know what pattern they'll go for there. But Zoda coming into the Magnet Man fight here, and you can see he is not wanting to get too close to Magnet Man. He's letting Magnet Man run his shield instead of breaking it up. And that's probably a smart strategy, because if you get hit with the shield, that's 6 damage. You can see MegaManx381 just took 6 damage from that shield. Usually you can afford to break up 3 shields, but especially in a race, you don't want to risk having a stray foot to the head kill you, and then having to do the fight over again. But it looks to me like we're both out of Magnet Stage about the same time. About the same time. So good job by both runners, and now they're going to be going to Hardman Stage, which is a very, very, very safe stage. No spikes, no holes. But there are still a couple of heavy hitters. So Zoda's going to throw magnet missiles at these bees, and he gets the first one, fails to get the second one. Meanwhile, MegaManX381 gets the first one, and he's going to get the second one, I'm pretty sure. Nope, he just decides to go left and despawn him and set up for the third bee with Rush Coil. Or something like that. It's a little bit unclear to see what the thought process was there. Maybe he and I both lost track of which bee he was on. But generally in Magnet First, you'll shoot the first 2 bees with the magnet missiles, and the second one from the Rush Coil. And magnet missiles are a very powerful weapon. It's one of the reasons Magnet First is such a good route, because you get this powerful weapon that homes in on enemies. But it's also... it's 100% consistent if you always throw it from the same spot. But if you change when you throw it just a little bit, it could target the wrong enemy, it could target nothing. By the way, ZodaNOR just getting a one jump, throwing 3 shots at that Met Dozer and killing him. Of all the dozers in the game, the little, you see the Met on top of the earth pushing vehicle. We call those Met Dozers, or just dozers. That is the easiest one to shoot, but it still requires you to be pretty good at jump mashing to get it in one jump. And I don't know if this piece of information could have anything to do with that, but I recognize Zoda's name. I knew he was a very good runner. Even though he doesn't have a posted PB for Mega Man 3, I knew he was a very good Mega Man 2 runner. Not only is he very good, he's number 2 in the world for Mega Man 2 Any Percent, which is the most competitive category in Mega Man 2. ZodaNOR is number 2 in the world, only behind Elonesia. And anytime you can say that you are only, you would be number 1 except for Elonesia, that's quite an accomplishment. So... he's number 5 for Rockman 2 Perfection. Okay, so he's number 2 in normal, and number 5 in difficult, or Rockman 2. So a very accomplished Mega Man 2 player. Also has a cool 22 in Mega Man 1. That's good for top 50. And he's the uncontested world record holder in both Mega Man Ultra, Novice, and Expert. So, what I'm saying is, the man knows how to mash, because Mega Man 2, another Mega Man game with no charge shot. Yeah, I did my research, perfection. It's all good. I came correct. Don't come up in here. Anyway, so we're in Top Man stage now, which is another pretty safe stage. And because of all of the weapons they have, they're not going to have to do crazy mashing. Although I think Zoda would be a pretty good fit for top first with his remarkable mashing skills. But they're both keeping it very close here, and so I'd like to talk a little bit about where this race might go before we get into the really exciting stages to look at on a screen-by-screen basis. So both of these runners are in Group G, and that is unfortunate for them, because the top 2 seeds in this are... wow. Like, I almost don't feel worthy to say his name on a big stream like this, but Cool Kid. Wow. Cool Kid, Mega Man 1 world record holder. Not only Mega Man 1 world record holder, but he improved on the world record, which is tightly contested by no fewer than 4 excellent runners. He improved on it by 10 whole seconds the other day, bringing it down to an 18:35. Sorry to MegaManX381 for that death there. At least he dies at the beginning of the tops and not at the end of the tops. So instead of losing 40 seconds, maybe he loses 30 seconds. So still very much a close race. Nothing is lost for X381 as long as he can just brush that off. The Cool Kid, number one seed in their bracket. Number 1 Swede in their bracket. Number 2 is Papat. Former world record holder for Mega Man 6. Just got a 36 in this game. A low 36, I should say. Just got a 36 in Mega Man 3 after really getting serious about it just a few weeks ago. So those are the 2 runners that are going to dominate this bracket. Cool Kid is already 1-0. Papat is 2-0. Papat has defeated both of these runners. So to make it out of this bracket, something pretty amazing is going to happen for these guys. But all that matters right now is this race. And in this race, Zoda, who is getting all 4 of his matches in one day, he's already played Cool Kid today. He had a 44 in that. He played Papat. He had a high 41 in that. X381 has played Papat. He had a 42-30 basically in that. So we've got a 42-30 versus the other runner, Zoda. If you take the average of his 2 times, it's about a 42-30. What I'm saying is, this is anybody's race. And Zoda takes a death that's going to cost him about the same amount of time, maybe slightly less time than X381's death. And so we're back to square one. Thank you. I had to tap into that conditional memory. All right, so Zoda's gonna slide and jump, or I should say slide and jump and shoot. And he runs out of magnets, so he has to be pacifist with that dragonfly. But it's quite all right. He's gonna make it into Shadow Man. Now, with Shadow Man, he wants to be very careful, because if he hits Shadow Man while Shadow Man is in iframes, ooh! Unless he gets the double hit, he will run out of top spin energy. But it looked like he was about to run out there with the 3rd hit, but he got the double hit, and so rip Shadow Man. Fast fight there. Let's see what Mega Man 3 X381 can do. Okay. Nah. Oh, misses with that 3rd jump. Uses a whole bunch of top spin, but not all of it. Has enough for the last. Okay, so that's good to see. Very good to see. I mean, it's always fun to see somebody go buster against Shadow Man. Shadow Man, widely regarded as one of the more unpredictable bosses and harder to dodge bosses, especially if you're not a member of the cult of the Shadow Blade like myself. But you do like to see runners not drain their top, especially in a close race like this. Oh! And Zoda loses at least 10 seconds right there by failing to get the jump through that fake stopper there that Proto Man is pretending to stand on top of. If you can jump through that, most of us try to jump at the star. Okay, so we slide into the screen transition, and before the screen transition, we jump at the star, and then we manage to fall through that stopper. It turns off the music, which reduces lag. You also don't have to sit through that 10-second cutscene. Please, 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 X381. Oh, screenshot that. Make that your off-stream image. This is the Subpixel. This is your guy. It's right up there. Ah, he can't get the zip either. And ZodaNOR hops into Rush Marine here. Super, super dangerous strategy. I know it looks free, but it's not. Oh, and he's not going to get the first energy capsule, which means he has just enough time to get to the first energy capsule. That damage cuts into his time. He doesn't bop his head. He gets the energy. Everything is fine. Nothing is wrong. Shoutouts to Unglitched Penguins. Shoutouts to grabbing that energy tank. Too many people let that energy tank go by. And by the way, I am watching a super secret, low delay stream video here. But if I'm spoiling anything, let me know, and I will try to get pro like Mr. Cab and adapt my commentary so that I am not giving anything away. As X381 makes the Rush Marine jump with 1 energy left. Wow. Wow. Shoutouts to double perfect Rush Marine. Sweet. Thanks, Bill. Let's see what 381 can do with the jump. Nice. So that's my strat too. Walk a little bit, slide, and then jump. You can throw 2 Shadow Blades to lag the screen, which allows you to move a little faster. But it's a little scary, and Stompers do a lot of damage. And most people like to get into this fight with a lot of health. Although if you're X381, I guess you can just jump over Gemini Man twice. Yo! This is good. This is good. Yo, ZodaNOR getting all the Mega Man 5 references. Neither runner went to Snake Man before Needle Man. That's an easy menuing error to make, and if you try to do Snake Man stage without Rush Jet, it costs you at least 40 seconds. And shoutouts to our restreamer Feasel for getting the timers synced up so that what we're watching is actually the race. It's always good. No question about whether one runner is really ahead. No need to adjust stuff. So nice job, Feasel. Let's see if Zoda goes for the free setup. He does. 2 slides and a jump towards, and then he lags it, and it's bouncing here, it's bouncing there. Eventually it bounces into Needleman's chin, and he delivers the final hit. See if MegaManx381 can make it through the... Oh, he ricochets the Gemini laser, and all 3 of its sprites go ricocheting in the wrong direction. Slide, induce him to jump left instead of right. That's a nice safe strat. It's easy to think of Needleman as a safe fight because you only have to hit him 4 times, and many times you can hit him 4 times in quick succession, but his weapons do a lot of damage. In fact, I think I died to him in my race last night. I think I got hit by 2 needles, and that did me in. But it doesn't do X381 in, and he is going to be headed to the 7th 8-robo stage with Zoda. Zoda a little over half a stage ahead, and that's a little bigger in Snake Man stage because this stage is so long. But we will know who's in the lead very soon. Well, we'll know what the lead is very soon because there's only 2 more stages to go. The one bad thing about this top secret stream is it doesn't seem to have any sound, so I'm watching Mega Man 3 race with no music, which is not something I would wish on anybody. It's still really exciting though. And it looks like they're synced, it looks like they're snake synced, but actually those are 2 different giant snakes. So they are not. Shoutouts to MegaManx381 for not rush canceling. You can cancel rush, you can get him off screen and get rid of his lag and fire more rush jets if you want to by pressing start in the middle of a slide, but it's very easy to press start after your slide and then you're in the menu and then you gotta spawn that rush animation in the menu again and it takes so long. Rip gap jump, attempt. Sad moment in a man's life when he's lost the will to even try for gap jump. But gotta do whatever you think is faster. Imagine a Smooth McGroove style video with the 8 Robot Masters all singing a cappella. It's funny how you pick up people's speech patterns. I'll say just a little bit about that. I started watching this game in March, and one of my first streamers was Prissy, and in his stream, he was practicing the top first parachute jumps, which were still a new thing that people weren't doing in runs very much yet, as far as I could tell. And so I heard a lot of stressing out from him, and then he'd say, "This is fine, this is fine." And he would say, what else would he say? He would say, "This is fine" a lot. And so I took that as a Prissy thing. And then I would start watching Fasta's stream, the Mega Man 3 world record holder, and he'd say, "Sick, sick," and "hello, hello," a lot. And then Chelny always says, imagine, and I have no idea if these are these guys' things, but because I'd never heard them before, and they were the first ones that I heard to say them, I always think I'm stealing their shtick when I just use them. So, sorry about that. The royalty check is in the mail. Prizzy and Fasta and Chelny. So 381 taking a very costly death there. It looked like he was pretty far into the stage, but the game didn't think so, and it sent him back to the very beginning of the stage. Oh, so ZodaNOR now almost an entire stage ahead. Don't go bet all of your money on ZodaNOR right now, though, because there's plenty of places to die as we get into the Doc Robot stages. Not that I'm wishing that upon him. I mean, if anybody could use a win, like, it would be Zoda, because he's had to go up against Cool Kid and Papa Dot today. And he's fought valiantly against both of them. He even managed to get Cool Kid to post a somewhat mortal low 37. Um, but X381 is not helping his cause by taking 3 deaths. 3 deaths in Sparkman. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, Zoda just fell in a hole, and I thought there was hope for X381 for a moment there, but it was actually just a screen transition. So we'll see if he's got the wiggle here. That's going to gain him some horizontal distance coming out of that egg. When you come out of a narrow corridor in a slide, you can tap left and then right, like tap tap, and you shoot out a little bit farther, and that's called a wiggle. But he did not get the wiggle. I don't think anybody went for the new tri-wave wiggle in the original Gemini Tadpole section, but I do want to let everybody know that Tri-Wave, who put up those 2 great races yesterday, has a new strat that is actually being considered as an actual speed strat that could save, I believe, fastest at about 12 frames in that Gemini zip. So 2017, people still coming up with strats, and not just, not just Fasta and Prizzy and Chelny and Cool Kid, no, Tri-Wave, new to the game, but being new doesn't mean that you can't contribute. As X381 takes another death in Sparkman stage. No, go, X381. It's not over. I mean, I think we know a 6 o'clock match. 6 o'clock matches, anything can happen. And yeah, you can see his, I don't know if he's watching his chat, but you might want to head over there if you have the capability to get two chat windows open and give him some encouraging words, because that's brutal. That's brutal to fall in 3 holes and then die to the boss. Sparkman, not a boss you're expecting to die to either. He doesn't even have hands. So Zoda's got all the right ingredients for a good Doc Bubble fight. He went in with high health. He didn't, what's it called? He didn't mash his Shadow Blades. So he didn't lag the game by throwing Shadow Blades that don't hit. Also, you can only throw 1 Shadow Blade at a time. And let's see if he gets the music despawn here. Oh, he's going for the harder setup. The slightly faster setup, and I don't know if he got it, but he didn't die, so that is good. He's going to use Cassio's strat there, and just walk up to that stomper, wait for him to jump, and then slide under him? Yes, slide under him. And Bass Guitar Bill reporting that he did get the music despawn, which is triggered by hitting the spikes on the screen transition, so you don't actually hit the spikes, but the game thinks you died, but it doesn't really think you died. It just plays the sound that made you die, but because it's not sure if you died, and it wants to be like really sure and investigate the situation, it turns off the music so that it can hear you breathing. And then once you get to this fight, and Woodman says, "Ah, Mega Man!" the game says, "Oh, okay, Mega Man must be alive." So we can turn the music back on now. You do, Spraka. You do get a password after you beat the 8th Robot Master. Zoda taking a death. Like, if you're going to take a death, that is like... So that room can be done pretty safely. But until you know how to do it pretty safely, or if you're trying to do it very rapidly, you can see he's just running and running. He's not holding back. He's not sliding. Maybe he was sliding before. But it's one of the last... When you're just learning the game, this room that ZodaNOR is making his way through now is one of the last rooms that you feel safe in. I think that's the best way I can put it. Unless somebody takes your hand early on and says, "Hey, here's a nice safe way to do it." Shoutouts to Baw316 for being the one who opened my eyes. And the race looks really close right now, but remember the dock stages can be done in any order. So Zoda Zoda gets out of his second Robot Master, so he has Gemini and Shadow. Shadow one of the shorter stages, Gemini one of the longer stages. So Zoda has one long, one short. X381 is about to have one short, which will put Zoda, let's say, 1.25 average length stock stages ahead of X381. Alright, MegaManx381 going for the Rush Jet strat in this room. Shoutouts to Barn Owl. When I was really getting my teeth sharpened in this game, I did some races with Barn Owl, and I was having trouble with the rush coil in that room, and Barn Owl was saying in that warm, friendly, slightly pensive southern drawl of his that I should use Rush Jet because not that much slower, and rush coil was going to cost me runs. And he was absolutely right for a time. Rush coil did cost me many runs. But eventually, rush coil gets pretty safe. But thank you to Barn Owl for helping me get good at this game. And in fact, Barn Owl caught me one stream when I was practicing the shadow screen. Sorry, Zoda, I'm talking over your Quickman fight. Okay. You don't want to get down to 2 health against Quickman because his boomerangs do 2 health. It's good to get hit by his boomerangs because that means you can't get hit by his body for a while. Not if you have 2 health though. That's when it's bad to get hit by the boomerangs. So let's watch this fight again. Yeah, you wanna get the advantage. Yeah. Yeah. Way to go, Zoda. X381 going into the giant met section of Doc Needle, and what weapon does he have equipped? Watch him go. Watch how fast that is. Watch how fearless he is here. Watch how he doesn't have to switch to another weapon. Shadow Blade. So yeah, Barn Owl saw me practicing the slide jumps in Shadow Man stage, except I wasn't going for slide jumps. I was trying something I called Far Magnet. Like I even called the stream Far Magnet Attempts, and Barn Owl came in and he taught me how to hold my jump button when I did my slide jumps, and so that's how I learned how to slide jump in Doc Shadow. So, alright, that's enough about Barn Owl, but he's a legend. He's a legend. Thank you, Ba. I didn't actually want to say that in front of however many people are here, but yes, that's what I was thinking. Shadow B. No, that's... I don't know her. Ooh, Zoda low on health. Ooh, Zoda, is he thinking he's playing Mega Man 2? Ooh, Zoda gets wrecked. And now he's going to have to go back to the start. It's not quite as bad as dying to Doc Knuckle, because then you have to do the flying section all over again, but it's still bad. And he slides into those spikes. Mega Man 3, very generous with the slides, because you can go very far off of an edge and still jump out of it, but there are limits on that. If you slide too close to the edge, you do have to wait 8 frames before you can jump out of the slide. That particular jump, I never slide with that one. That's like the only jump in the game that I don't do with a slide. For some reason, it just feels safer with a regular slide jump. The good news is Zoda gets the game over, so now he doesn't have to worry about losing his last life, say, versus, I know this is gonna like really make some people upset to even imagine this. He's not gonna game over in the Clash Man fight, okay? Like, that would be, oh, and he gets another one up, so that game over, that falling on the spikes, that might have actually been an intentional death. Might have been an intentional death. And now X381 goes into Quick Man fight. Most new runners' least favorite part of the game. But X381's not a new runner anymore. In fact, he has a 40-47 on the Mega Man 3 leaderboards, which makes him the 69th fastest Mega Man 3 runner in the world at this time. Oh gosh, yo, Mega Man X381. Oh, yo. I don't know, maybe it's the low quality restream, but those Gemini floors look grody when he slides. It's like he's playing on a CRT that had, I don't know, underwater through a mirror that is from a funhouse. Oh, I can't look at that. So, what's Zoda up to? Using snakes on the giant Mets. And I was going to say, haha, he took damage. But actually, there's a funny thing there. It wasn't real damage. You can see his life meter didn't change. It's possible if you jump too soon there, or slide too soon, I imagine, you can get the damage flashing and your damage, fake damage, like you can't move for a little while. But it's not real damage, so that's actually pretty good snake use. I've gotta respect. Doesn't need that E-Tank. Baron Haynes Baron Haynes is our like resident task specialist. He does all sorts of timings and emulators and comparison videos, in addition to being a really cool artist. Said it takes about 2/3 of a second to get a full pickup. Actually, Fasta said that, but I don't know who. I don't know. I guess anybody could time it. So X381 choosing to, well, first of all, shout outs to Zoda for getting to the IBN computer, but X381 choosing to go above the top in that section instead of down at the bottom. I was actually timing that earlier today, and it's pretty close. It's easier to go across the bottom and shoot the big fish than it is to go across the top and slide and shoot the things and maybe jump over the energy stuff to avoid what I was just talking about. But whatever gets you through there without dying. If that's sliding twice back to back across spikes, then slide twice back to back across spikes. I mean, all right, I really hope that's X381's last dock stage. Yes, it is. So Zoda not even a full stage ahead because Breakman is not a real stage. So Zoda will be fighting the turtles. Well, actually, well, yes, Zoda will be fighting the turtles right about the time MegaManX is falling down a ladder. I'm going to call it right now. Now, the thing about the Wily stage is, in addition to not having passwords for individual levels, which is a minor inconvenience if you want to practice a particular level, also, the weapons that you use stay used as you move throughout the castle. You don't get, even in the dock stages, when you finish a stage, all your stuff fills back up. So he was using Magnet on those Hammer Joes, and so he had to be very careful not to waste magnets because he's going to need those magnets for Hardman. And yep, MegaManX falling down a ladder while Zoda is fighting the turtles. Both players underwater at a time. That's pretty cool. I'll say a little bit more about the turtles when 381 gets there. Zoda going to the worst stage, one of the worst stages in the game, and not because it's particularly hard, but it's very easy to slide to your death on this next screen. And then the final boss, who everybody knows, if you die to the boss, you have to do the whole stage again because there is literally no checkpoint in the stage. Whoa, so many slides. So many slides. Looks like Zoda has gotten right at home with sliding Mega. And check out X381's health. I hope he knows that the Turtle Maker does a ton of damage, like way more damage than he has available. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Sick fight. Sick fight. Alright, so 381 finishes up the turtles before the Yellow Devil even starts to spawn. This is a race, ladies and gentlemen. This is a race. Remember back when 381 was falling in 3 holes and then dying to Sparkman? No more. No more. Oh! Zoda just goes a little bit too far to the left for a second jump and whiffs. Doing the right thing here by E-tanking. And so he needs to get 4 more hits on Yellow Devil, I believe. That can be done very easily from where he is standing right there without waiting for the... Yes. If you need to get more than that, you have to throw the first one before the eye opens. And since it doesn't hit right away, if you're holding diagonal, you can walk into him and die. And that would have put X381 in a 1-minute lead or more. So fortunately, Zoda knows what he's doing, dispatches the Yellow Devil in a very nice 2-cycle. But he got a very good first jump, and could have gotten a 1-cycle. X381, I don't think he has the 1-cycle just based on that hiccupy jump there. Of course, anything can happen in a given run, but that just didn't look like a man who is really trying for the 1-cycle. Like he was just trying to do some damage. And because he needs to get 5 hits on the Yellow Devil, he is just going to mirror his setup and do the same thing again. So, very nice. Yeah, if you can find a way to hold the controller that allows you to mash, and if you can get the timing right, that's what it's about. Like, it's as much about mashing as it is about timing. All right. So I don't see 381 coming back, but Zoda does need to not die because X381 is almost into refights. This is a very, very short stage. Ooh! I don't think that's the standard setup for that screen. It scared me a little bit. But it worked very well, and he's up there with just one hiccup. It's very easy if you make one hiccup there to make about 5 hiccups, and the last hiccup you die. So good job there, taking his time with this glitch kill, taking too much time. Doesn't get the kill on the first cycle, so now he doesn't know which holographic Mega Man to attack, and even though only one of them can take hits, they can all hit you, so he dies. This checkpoint isn't too bad, but when you're already behind, now it's going to take a lot more than one death for 381 to come back. And so Zoda exploiting a glitch here that allows you to just shoot when you enter a room, and even though you're facing left, your weapon goes to the right. That works for Magnet, Hard Knuckle, Gemini Laser, maybe some other stuff. As X381 gets the kill that time. Zoda getting a massive Nadua laser. Wow. And that can be a scary fight because you forget it in the speedrun. But Gemini Man does shoot lasers, and if you have a lag laser and he has a lag laser, and you don't know which laser is which, that's pretty scary. It's kind of like, I don't know, being in a game of Twister and you like reach over to scratch your butt and it's like not your butt. I guess. I don't know, I haven't played Twister in a long time. Alright, 381 with a low health snake kill. Getting some health for Shadow Man. We saw both runners do just fine with Shadow Man earlier. And once again, he's fine. And ZodaNOR moving on. Moving on. And getting frozen because he's standing too close to the enemy when he fires his last hard knuckle. And so he gets frozen for a few seconds. Zoda's got the snake out, looks like, and he's just... if you... Let's see what he does. So he throws 2 lag snakes to slow the descent of the Wily machine down, so he can get more shots in when he jumps. And it's possible to get it in one jump. He doesn't, but he recovers very nicely, switching to Shadow Blade. Andy, one of the very newest runners to Mega Man 3, demonstrated the other night it is possible to jump up and just throw snakes again, and get him that way. But most runners will switch to Shadow Blade if they miss with the snakes at first. But what I was about to say at the beginning of that fight was Wally Aldo has a video on YouTube of how he sets up the kill, and at the very beginning he takes 5 steps. He says take 5 steps, so that when you slide under the claw, you don't get hit. And Zoda was having no part of that. Zoda was just bouncing all around, just thumbing his nose at Wally's video. And Zoda gets the gamma kill. I actually didn't see which method he used. We had a slight hiccup in the secret stream. But there are at least 3 speedy ways to kill gamma. And looks like he pulled one of them off. So 381 is using a very, very, very fun strat here. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yo. So what he just did, after the 4 sparks, he flies up there on Rush Jet, gets kind of close to the bubble, and just mashes. I'm sure he took at least 1 damage, but I didn't see him take a second damage, and that is very, very hard to do. So that is an excellent Spark Rush Jet kill right there. And honestly, it's fast. It's probably faster than what Zoda did. I mean, it's maybe 5 seconds slower than straight up Snake kill. But if you have to retreat to Shadow Blade, Spark Rush Jet is faster for a lot of people. And 381, even though you know he's got to be a little tilted, he still gets the Gamma kill first try. So, yo, shout outs to both of these runners. Zoda getting his first win of the day and of the tournament. So Zoda now 1-2. Which means he could tie Papat if Papat loses his last 2 matches. But because Papat beat Zoda, Zoda cannot finish ahead of Papat in the group. So Zoda's got to be hoping that Cool Kid. Zoda's got to hope that X381, Papat, and M-Chan, the other runner in the group, he's got to hope they can all beat Cool Kid. It could happen. We all have bad races. But a great run there. In fact, so Zoda's now got a 44, a 41, and a 43 in today's races. So he's either going to have a 42 or a 40 flat. Or maybe a 39, I don't know, in his last race of the day. And if you want to see that last race of the day, let me make sure that I tell you when you can see it. Oh, sorry, I don't have any music. Probably didn't go very well with the credits music. So this was the 6 o'clock match. Oh, wouldn't you know? Zoda's next match is now. Zoda's next match is now versus M-Chan 338.
So that match is actually canceled. M-Chan is sick and he's not going to be doing the match, so we have to wait a little bit. Got 2 hours to wait for more Mega Man.
Oh. So, breaking news from Feasel. Get well soon, M-Chan. Our next match will be 9 o'clock Eastern Time. That is Shich versus Mazimov. And who is trying to make it out of his group. Mazimov on good. Like, Mazimov is one of the favorites in his group right now. And right after that, we got Meteor Wave versus Great Jean, followed by Smart Alec versus the legend Colonel Fatso. And for now, that'll do it for tonight. So yeah, 3 more races in 2 hours from now. That starts.